No, I think one of the things that we're trying to focus on going forward is just offering different venues for different appetites, if you will, for different people. We're trying to bring in different things that guys have concerns with, whether it be lust issues, whether it be work and stress, whether it be relationships in the family, and so on and so forth. And so I think we're catering to more, and I'm finding that there's more bands of guys, if you will, that are just going down roads together, and it's really neat how God's kind of orchestrating that and bringing these guys together.
Yeah, I was in a small group, 6 or 7 guys, earlier this year, and we did Man in the Mirror. And as we went through that book, each one of us would say, hey, that's us in the book. And we got to know each other quite well. And again, there was a period of getting to know each other and trusting each other. But after that, it was worth it to get together once a week, even if you had to get up early and be somewhere at 7 o'clock, because it just charges your batteries.
Oh yeah, I definitely think we're catering to, again, young and old. And what's even more interesting, though, is the mix within the groups themselves. I've been in a couple groups now where we've had, late 20s to late 50s and early 60s. And what was great was the way God used those relationships again to feed off of each other, gain wisdom, like he's saying, get a little rejuvenated with some of the young guys. So it's a real good mix, again, that caters to young and old alike.
Yeah, our group had young fathers, to me, the old man. But we could still all relate to each other because they were issues that each of us face at one point in our life. And if one of us has been through something and can help a younger guy, or a younger guy can give another perspective, it just helps all of us grow. I was reluctant to sign up at first. I need to kind of know everything about what I'm jumping into before I jump into it. Sort of like my salvation. I didn't hear a clear message of salvation until I was in my 50s. And I didn't really let the Lord take over until I wanted to know and understand everything about salvation and what it entailed and what it implied. And I was just going around in circles until I just finally, in faith, I gave up and accepted Christ. And I'm still learning. I'll never know everything that I wanted to know. I went around asking guys about the weekend so I could try to get it formulated in my head. And while I got bits and pieces, it ended up being the same thing. You just do it by faith and trust the other guys that you're going to have a fabulous weekend. The way we bonded, we were both on the serving crew and got to know each other that way. And into the breakout sessions and all the sessions where we were together, there was a lot of quick bonding. And then we had, on Saturday afternoon, the whole afternoon was free. And I'll tell you, I have never seen or heard so many grown men laughing and giggling like they were kids. They were kids again. We were going down the zip line. We were jumping on a big bladder and launching somebody at the other end off into space, into the water, and just all the fun we were having. It was a common experience to all of us, and I don't think anybody seemed reserved or just they didn't hold back. We just had a fabulous weekend.
And what I think is interesting is that he had said he was reserved about going. And what's funny is I was reserved, but from a different standpoint. He was interested in spiritual, maybe reserved about the physical. I was really reserved about the spiritual aspect of it. I was really kind of just feeling spiritually dead and burnt out, but was enticed by the idea of getting out there with a bunch of guys, getting a little competitive, doing some tubing, doing some jumping off of this bladder thing, doing the 40-foot, ropes course. And so it was more of the physical that intrigued me to go there. And then what I found when I got there was, to his point, the camaraderie, the sense that I wasn't alone, that feeling burnt out wasn't exclusive. that a lot of guys do it. But by being in an environment where a bunch of guys could be together to encourage each other, really helped to lift my spirits. Actually, that's where we kind of got to know each other, right?
Yeah, right.
Was just kind of hanging out and watching some of the other guys for a little bit and kind of kidding back and forth. He would kind of kid me about the young whippersnappers, and then I was just amazed at how he hopped right up on there and would get right in on the physical activities and do the zip line and stuff like that. It was really neat to see young and old alike really have a good time.
The camaraderie was fantastic, that you could take a bunch of guys that knew each other to nod in the hall and get off on a 3-4 day weekend with each other. And within 24 hours we were laughing and joking and talking seriously in the corner with some of these guys. And to me it was like Boy Scouts all over again, going to Boy Scout camp. Here I am, I'm in my 60s and I felt like a young kid again.
Do you know anybody here at church? Do you go play tennis? Do you do anything outside of church with some of your brothers to be encouraged? If not, come and join us. Come get away for a weekend. And again, I didn't realize how spiritually dead I was for that period of time until I was there. And you may not even think that you're kind of off the beaten path, if you will. But come on in, enjoy the weekend with us, and be refreshed.
And see what it can do for you. It can't help but make you grow.